Hey, what's up guys? Today, real quick, we're just going to go on a little ride, bring you guys with us, talk about some new things to the RSF, and mainly just do a little talk about before and after doing suspension and seat upgrades on the RSF Razor. So we'll go ahead and get into it. Let's check it out. So talking about the Sur-Ron seat, we have gotten a stronger upgraded mount that we're going to have bolt on to this RSF. That is going to be more towards the wheelie scene so that seat stays on a little better with a metal plate. And we'll have that in our link tree if you want to check that out. Alright guys, so we love Ride or Die, so we went ahead and ordered the Ride or Die forks. We do have a 10% discount code to that, and go ahead and check that out in our link tree as well. So thank you Ride or Die for that. We always appreciate you. Now basically these forks you're going to pick out for the RSF, so that is going to be due to the front rim and tire setup is a little bit different than the MX SX styles, so choose accordingly. I think that if you are doing an MX or SX and you want to have an RSF wheel setup on here, you can pick this RSF Ride or Die setup, and then it will be bolt on to this wheel with basically all of the bikes. So 500 and 650 size model, of course. Now if you guys are curious what systems are already in this bike for upgrades, we have a video kind of going through the top speed on this bike as well as all the parts that we have on it so far. This is what I'm calling the stock look. And before we do these upgrades, we're going to kind of get a few shots of this bike. I think the RSF looks amazing stock. Unfortunately, I'm 6'3", and I'm just a little too big to be running it without these upgrades. So these will be great upgrades for me, and we are excited to be able to get that done and fit on it hopefully a little bit better. But if you do want to see a walkthrough on this bike, you can go ahead and check this video out, linked up above. All right, guys. So we're out here, we're cruising up the hill a little bit. You know, this has been a really fun bike already. My main complaints is obviously I'm tall, so my legs are in the bars, so I don't want to change this bike's look too much from stock, just because I love all the Razor's stock look for the most part, on these more special bikes especially. So, you know, my complaint on this bike is obviously suspension. The rear is really creaky and springy feeling, and the front obviously has none. So when you put the wheel down, you really want to set it down safe and, you know, give her gas right as I'm coming down, which isn't ideal. So right there through those bumps, super rough, the front suspension. So I never really noticed how much the front suspension was like giving me some little forgiving on going through like a little dip or something, or just small bumps. So you can feel everything with these hard forks. This is my first RSF I have. So it just, you know, it's just a little harder on the suspension. I'm really excited to get the Ride or Die forks on. Again, we have a 10% discount they gave us, so great guys to support, selling great products. So this is rough as heck. I've ran stock suspension on a lot of my bikes since I have so many bikes for a long time, and I didn't know how much good it was doing me, guys. I didn't know that it was actually, those little springs are helping, because this is a rough ride right here even. Whew. Yeah, so this with no front suspension feels really hairy. Just a little rough, you know? So every one of these bumps is just so hard. It would be nice to just want to jump this, right? Badoosh. But I don't think I feel good about it, so we're not gonna. All right, guys, so we're gonna finish this video with a little running to the post office video. So Josh and Jeremy, shout out you guys, thanks for your purchases. The RSF, as we can see, has had some upgrades done to it. The front suspension has gotten thrown on. The rear suspension has gotten thrown on. Some more up-and-coming EMF 12-volt items have been going on to be tested. So we're going to talk about those too, but let's jump into it. All right, guys, so we're out here. We're cruising down to the post office. Another beautiful day in Colorado. So we're just going to kind of talk about suspension a little bit here. In general, obviously, it just feels 10 times better than the stock was that we were on before. So even like to do wheelies, for some reason right away putting the rear shock on, I was like 10 times better on it. So I don't know why, but whoa. Still working on our turns here a little bit on the wheelies. I didn't actually change the seat yet, and I have the stuff. We have a grade option that I'm going to go over. But I wanted to just kind of go over these upgrades one at a time so you guys can get my opinion on the difference between one thing after another, from the brakes to forks and suspension upgrade to the seat upgrade. So kind of just want to talk about all of those, you know, time and time again. So if you want to see, next will be coming the bigger seat. We'll have that video, of course, of the install. If you haven't checked out the fork install video, check it out. The rear suspension, we don't have the video up at this point, so I don't know when you're watching this, it might be, but if not, I do want to say I had to do some shaving down that we saw online, but this was a recommendation from Turbo Moose. If you guys have been with him for a minute, another OG Razor content guy. I don't know, mine I had to grind down to get to fit. He said he didn't, and he's had others that didn't. So I don't know, maybe the Razor frames just vary a little bit. So, you know, that could be it too. But anyway, we did have to kind of grind down the top of the shock a little bit with I did it with a file because I didn't have my grinder on hand. So anyway, something to note there. We just talked about before with me wanting to jump off curbs. Hopefully we'll jump off a few. But like putting the wheel down is so much nicer. Like if I drop it hard, even before it was a breaker. I do want to say before I forget, yesterday I was flying on this thing doing like 45 on the road where I shouldn't be. And I actually hit a pothole without seeing it coming, a big one. I think I would have totally crashed if I didn't have the front ride or die suspension on. If I had the stock forks on, I would have went down. It was so bad, but I barely hit. This thing cruised right over it fine, actually. So I was just kind of mad at myself for not seeing it coming, because I need to be watching out for that riding on 10-inch freaking wheels. But yeah, having fun with the RSF. So we got our horn on here, we got blinkers on here. Oops, and we got our hazards, which I had going on already. So I'm pretty stoked about all that. This will be coming soon to EMF plug and play 12-volt sets. But I just gotta work a few kinks out and everything like that, and we'll get some videos out for a lot of this stuff. We have our high beams up here, and then the hazards all shows up on there. What's up? So pretty cool stuff. How's it going, man?
How are you?
Good, thanks. Another thing, guys, always just be, you know, respectful from where you are. So like in here, if I lock them up, it'll lock me up, but hitting the regen in there, it doesn't quite lock my tire up. So like, I'll show you right here, you know, just slides me with my little bit of rear brake. But that regen's kind of a good controlled slowdown. How's it going? Yeah, it is, thanks. All right, so off the curbs, much better. I would not have done that before. I literally wanted to and hesitated, so we'll do it again. Let the front down hard that time. Didn't even feel it, man. We're gonna pop her in 3. Oh, let's use our blinkers. Hell yeah. Blinker off. All right, so no, blinker does not turn off like it's like a car, like by itself. We're going uphill. We're at 30 miles an hour. Woo! Says 40. You guys can't see it. We're doing about 40. Still got plenty of pep. There's no way I would have put the wheel down going that fast with the stock forks on the RSF, that is. And guys, I don't know if you just saw, there was a hole that could have taken me out right there. So always be watching. This guy wants to get some. Woo! Hopefully that kind of helps you guys make the decision on if you guys want anything like that. And you know, go check out the EMF merch. I'm not really trying to make money on it, but it's cool if people are representing. See if I can do a hand drag with you guys on. Yep, there's the ground.